What's up, everybody? This is Perry coming at you with day 2, match 2 of 100 matches of Branded. I've decided to speed up the video this time to 2 times speed in an effort to maybe get a little more content in. It's the same deck profile as yesterday, so I'm going to go ahead and not go over that again. Now, we open kind of an awkward hand here, and at first I think I'm playing in a little wrong using the polymerization to go into Grand Guignol rather than normal summon Cartesia and using her effect in order to go into Grand Guignol. But then I realize just about now that I can send Albion, get Retribution, and also get a Quem in the meantime. So I do actually have branded fusion access, which I thought I didn't have. So this turns the entire play from what I thought was essentially going to be summon Grand Guignol and hope you live a turn into being able to go pretty much full combo. However, on the flip side of that, I forget that I didn't I didn't send Gimmick Puppet when I used Grand Guignol. So I'm not going to be able to Puppet Lock despite me really going for the Albion line here to attempt to Puppet Lock. Now, right here, I'm thinking about a little bit longer here on whether or not I want to use Cartesia. I probably should have used Cartesia there, just in order to get a little bit of extra value, but then again, I only play the one Grand Guignol, so I don't really know what I would have even summoned off of it. I'm just going to take my sweet time and think about this for a little bit, trying to figure out what I need to do. I am going to go ahead and use the Mirror Jade to dump the Titaniclad, banish the Lulubellion, go to the end phase, and go and get a Fallen of Albaz that I'm just going to add to my hand, and then I'm going to go ahead and set. I go for a set of branded banishment. I believe I did catch on to the fact that I don't have a puppet in graveyard and can't actually go for the lock. Now, my opponent is activating Foolish Burial Goods, which could almost be anything. I still go for Sanctifier despite not really having what I need, but still at this point, having Sanctifier around is a really good thing. I think that's the point I actually realized I don't have Gimmick Puppet. Anyway, so my opponent goes Foolish Burial Goods, dumping a Toy Vendor. At this point, this is Fluffles. I have had experience with this strategy in the past, so I know how it plays here. Basically, it's just a giant droll magnet, likes to draw a bunch of cards, search a bunch of cards, but it can also very easily fall on its head. So they're going to go ahead activating Toy Vendor. At this point, there's really not much we can do. I mean, the banishment is kind of what's going to have to carry us here, just like super polying their field. So they go ahead and pitch an Octopus there, get a Wings, and I didn't realize it then. I wondered how on earth they because they normal summon later in the turn. I was convinced that the Penguin was their normal summon, but it turns out they never actually normal summoned. They just hit a Fluffle off of the vendor, so they were just able to special summon it there. I went and used Albion there to yoink their Wings in an effort. I know some Fluffle players only play one copy of Wings, so if they were only on one copy of Wings, then that just kind of cuts their card draw dead from there. So they've managed to establish quite a board presence here and there. You've used Cruel Whale to destroy Grand Guignol on my side of the field and Albion. I mean, I don't play a second Grand Guignol effect. This was honestly probably the worst series of pops they could have done in this scenario. So they're going to use Wings to send the vendor, draw a card. Well, they're going to banish a Fluffle, draw a card, send the vendor, draw another card, and then search the Sabers there. Now he's going to use the Cruel Whale in order to try to get repair into this thing. I know most Fluffle players only play the one Edge Imp Sabers, so I decide to use my banishment now. I summoned back Albion, and that was a misplay. I should have summoned back Grand Guignol so that I could have kept Albion's effect in the end phase there. But in banishing the Wings here, I kind of get rid of their Tiger access and the other majority of their access. I'm feeling pretty good at this point, so I use the Dragostapelia to negate the Fluffle Dolphin there, and so they don't get to just keep going off with Toy Vendor. They're going to activate Fright for Fusion, and I'm pretty sure they're just going to banish a couple cards here in order to make another Cruel Whale. Then they're going to use the Cruel Whale to go ahead and pop. I am going to Mercurier that. They're going to most likely chain the Cruel Whale here, or they're just going to keep Cruel Whaling in order to attempt to boost. Nope, they're just going to go ahead straight to battle phase. At this point, I'm not really scared of anything they can do in the battle phase. They have Penguin run over Cartesia, they run over Quem with that, and one of the Cruel Whales gets them back a Dolphin. And then they remove the Dragostapelia here. The target that they needed to take out was Albion. They've had multiple opportunities to take out Albion, and they just haven't. Okay, so I do go to battle phase. At the start of battle phase, they're asking if I want to use Droplet. The answer is no. I'm going to attack into the Cruel Whale. Use the Mirror Jade effect. I am not going to go chain the Droplet quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and banish the Dolphin. I don't know why I chose the Dolphin there. I don't decide to replay the attack. That's kind of interesting there. Maybe I just wanted them to burn the Cruel Whale effect or whatever. Then I'm going to go to main phase 2, set the Droplet here. I don't think I've got anything really going on in end phase. I probably really should have burned that Mirror Jade just to get the effect to wipe the board. I believe that's what was going on. And then the Rinbrum to summon Albaz to make us another Mirror Jade with like one of their fusions on next turn just becomes a better play. So we're going to go ahead and summon Cartesia now, and at this point they're going to Edge Imp Scythe. I don't know if they hard drew that or if I saw them searching and I just wasn't paying attention. They're going to go ahead and make Kraken and then use Octopus's effect to go ahead and put back... What are they putting back here? I couldn't quite see what they put back a Wings. So, I mean, in hindsight, that might telegraph they have that access. I'm going to go ahead and tribute summon here for the Kashtira Fenrir. Here's another thing. I probably should have done that in main phase 1. That way I could have gotten the Fenrir attack to banish something face down, but a bunch of shoulda, coulda, wouldas here. For whatever reason, I'm going to go ahead and hold the Albion, but I think I just want to look through my graveyard to see what I want to summon and when I want to summon it here. He's got a Foolish Burial Goods. I'm assuming dumping another vendor here. Thinking about what I want to do. I am going to go ahead and Sanctify her now. Bring myself back a Mirror Jade. And I'm going to go ahead and give him... Going to go ahead and give him back his... no, I'm going to take a Mercurier for myself. That way I can banish it if I want to. Get myself some more advantage. We're going to go ahead and Albaz, dump the Albion, and he's going to go ahead and chain Super Poly, which is a bit of an ouchie for me, but he's going to go ahead and use the Fusion Monster and the Mercurier that I gave him to make a Dragostapelia, and then I'm going to go ahead, and I believe I banished that Dragostapelia pretty much immediately here. And then on resolution... No, I thought I'd do it on resolution. But he's just going to go ahead and burn both of his Cruel Whales in quick succession here to give his Kraken a bunch of attack. I seize the opportunity to go ahead and banish that Kraken face down. So entering the battle phase here, they're going to go ahead and attempt to ram one of those down me. I'm going to go ahead and make the Albaz, discarding the Polymerization to go ahead and make a Mirror Jade using the bigger of the two. Use Branded Loss to go ahead and get myself something. It doesn't really matter. I guess I go for Albion. And I was going to Droplet send something and make his Cruel Whale crash into something that was bigger than him. So he winds up taking the battle damage. I assume he's going first because even though Fluffle like formerly was an OTK deck, I I believe it's Skyhawk's advancements in the deck have made it like also a very good going first strategy. I know what I want here is the Droll and Lockbirds, and then I also want to go ahead probably bring in the Nibiru's. I don't know why I was even thinking about sighting in the Cosmic Cyclone there, because it's not really going to do anything. Especially since that's if you're going first. He does elect to make me go first, and luckily for me, I haven't really drawn too much of anything of the going second staples that I had boarded into. So I guess we're going to start things off with a fusion deployment to get a Fallen of Albaz, because I've already got everything else I want here. I'm going to go ahead and summon the Quem and use Quem's effect here. I'm interested to see what I'm going to go for. I'm pretty sure I probably should have normaled... Sorry, it's not Quem, it's Cartesia. I'm pretty sure I should have normaled the Quem by now and used it. But I go ahead and use that and give me a Patchwork. Use the effect to dump a Gimmick Puppet. And then use the Quem effect here to go ahead, and I believe I've got everything I want already at this point, so I'm pretty sure I just dump a Retribution. I'm going to go ahead and Patchwork, get myself that. I'm going to activate the Polymerization. Oh yes, I did see a Puppet line. Okay, so I just go ahead and give myself the Gimmick Puppet line pretty much immediately. Then I set that for follow-up. I believe this would normally be game in 9 circumstances out of 10 here, but I think I've got a nasty surprise as soon as I attempt to Albion here. I get myself the Fallen of Albaz, if I'm correct. Yep, and then I go to give him the Gimmick Puppet, but he is going to go ahead, and I believe he's drawn Called by the Grave. He has drawn Called by the Grave, and he goes and calls by the Gimmick Puppet. There's nothing really I can do in this scenario. Called by the Grave has just rained on my parade so many times over the course of what I've already recorded from this challenge. The amount of times my opponents have it seems to be a disproportionately large amount here. So he's going to go ahead and Super Poly. It's going to be 2 monsters from my field. And he does make Grura with the 2 spellcasters there. I've got Albion, which honestly, if I'm going to have 1 monster on the side of my field, it's going to be Albion. But right now, Albion's got to pretty much live an entire turn, with the only thing backing up being 1 Super Polymerization. On the bright side, he cannot target Albion. On the bad side, that does not target. Cruel Whale does not target. It just says destroy. So I don't know whether or not he's going to go for the Albion here, or if he's going to go for the Dracostapelia. Oh, he needed to pop one on his side of the field as well, so it resolved without effect. Now, if you're normal summoning Dog in Fluffles, just like kind of as your first non-whatever action, I realize you're probably not in that good of a shape. So I just go ahead and negate it. He's going to summon out Tiger with Fright Fur Fusion. He cannot target my Albion, so I feel pretty confident. The Predaplane's got its value negating the Dog, and he can't really do anything, but he does have second Dog, but it is a once per turn. So it doesn't matter if it's been negated. He's going to pass to end phase. I'm going to get Cartesia back. I draw probably one of the best things that I can in this scenario, the Despian Tragedy. I summon out the Cartesia, and he just auto-scoops. That's it for this day's episode. Thank you very much. If you could leave a like on the video, subscribe if you want to see more of this challenge, and leave a comment, I would appreciate it.